Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Doomsday video. So as we watch the Legacy format unfold with Ragavan putting in some work, I've not really found much desire to change up the list I'm playing. Maybe slightly. I switched the second Thoughtseize for the second Duress, but that's pretty much it. So this list is the same as the one I played in my last video, aside from that little thing. And yeah, gonna go ahead and take this list for a spin in a league. Alright, so round number 1 on the draw. Gonna keep this. It's a decent hand. Go Strand. Okay, this could be the mirror. Not shuffle, okay. So I think I'm gonna play Strand Go here. This way, if they tab out for Doomsday, we can Daze and pay for their Daze. We also have the chance to, like, Brainstorm and look for a Force of Will. Okay, so Tundra. Baleful Strix, okay. This could still be the mirror, could still be, I know that Mark has been playing Esper with Strix. I'm gonna Brainstorm here. Oof. Habada habada. Okay, so gonna put back Doomsday and probably a Daze, and then I'm gonna Duress here, and then we'll hope to go for the win next turn. So they okay, so they have Wasteland. They have Force of Will. So the Wasteland is annoying. The Brainstorm is maybe even... I think I'm going to take the Brainstorm, and we have Pact to beat their Force of Will. We don't want them to Brainstorm into like a Thoughtseize or something. So there's the Wasteland. Gonna go ahead and Wasteland us. And they play Stoneforge, sure. So we get to Daze their Force of Will on Doomsday. And then we get to win, because we just got lucky and drew Street Wraith. So, I mean, they could let Doomsday resolve, in which case we should also be winning, but maybe at the cost of a turn. So they force. And I think I prefer... No, you know what? I'm gonna Pact here. So this means that they will have to play with the fear of God in their hearts for game number 2. Okay, so we're gonna cycle Street Wraith into Brainstorm, Brainstorm into Thassa Oracle, LED, and an Edge of Autumn. And we can just put a blank on the bottom. Let's make it a Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. And the 3 cards here, the order doesn't really matter. So let's put Daze. Thassa. Again, it doesn't really matter. You know their hand. They have no way to interact. So with them having Wasteland, like relying on Pyroblasts to kill meddling mages and stuff is maybe not too reliant, so to speak, but we want the Cavern of Souls, we want the Pyroblasts, and you know what, I think we might want a single Massacre, and I think we'll lose the Lion's Eye Diamond and the Pact of Negation, because I'm not expecting like Endurance, and Cavern of Souls plays around most other things. Let's lose the 2 Personal Tutors. Can lose a couple of Cyclers. So we'll keep the Ideas Unbound because it's not impossible that we would want to use it for a same turn win if the coast is clear. Alright. I think this is, you know, an excusable keep. Double Dark Ritual is a bit awkward, only 1 land is a bit awkward, but we have mana, we have spells. Our opponent is mulliganing to 5 meanwhile. Okay. Thoughtseize? Yeah, sure. This hand is somewhat Thoughtseize proof. I would be sad if they also had Surgical, so they could like get 2 cards out of her hand that way. I wonder what you take here if you don't have Surgical, I mean. Okay, you get a Ponder. So I think I'm gonna... So the Dark Ritual means we could get Island, and then just at any point like fetch an Underground Sea and Dark Ritual. But we also want Pyroblast, so I think I'm actually gonna get the Volcanic Island. Of the lands we have that can afford to get Wastelanded, I think that's a fine one. I don't think we want these cards. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to play out the Petal. Plays into Prismatic Ending, but I would be kind of surprised if they still have that card. This way we could Pyroblast if we need to fight over something critical here on turn 2. Wasteland, yeah, okay. Well, there's Doomsday. So any land here, Petal is fine too. If it was land, we could also Daze, but then again, we couldn't Pyroblast. So they know about the Pyroblast. So Flusterstorm beats us here. Yeah, okay. So they had the Flusterstorm, that's nice for them. Gonna pass. Hope to draw another Doomsday. Okay. Happy they had no turn 2 play here. Ooh, I do draw another Doomsday. So I'm not gonna sit here and wait now. if they have another Flusterstorm, or if they have like a pitch counter, and that's their last two cards, so be it. Okay, they don't. So I'm gonna. I want to get to Cavern of Souls, Thassa, obviously. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, there we go. And I think I also just want like a Scalding Tarn and basic island. And then I guess Volcanic Island. This is going to be slow, but the Volcanic Island gives us some insurance. So let's put island on the bottom, then cavern. Oh no, I should have put Thassa there, because we don't, at all costs, we can't afford to lose to them, like top decking or like having Thoughtseize and taking our Thassa, I mean. So Thassa should definitely have been the last card we draw. Yeah, that was and actually quite a significant mistake. Okay, so now they have 3 mana. Like, a True Name Nemesis here actually also does quite a bit of work against us. So I wonder what they have. And I also don't know what's, like, they're probably just looking through our exile zone. Baleful Strix, not too worried. Alright. We're gonna pass here. So if they wasteland us, I'm just gonna, Pyroblast the Baleful Strix, because that's gonna be the last use we get of the Pyroblast. We could also Pyroblast and then like Daze our own Pyroblast to save the Volcanic, but I don't think there's much, much reason to doing that. All right. I was about to skip through my phase here. I'm just gonna play out this land. Okay, so there's a wasteland. Okay. Okay, so they get to wasteland us. And you know what? I think I am going to fetch before I draw, because that means there's a 50-50 chance that I draw Cavern of Souls over the Thassa, and that way we don't lose like instantly to a Thoughtseize. Okay, our opponent is taking their sweet time. Alright, so opponent put a Pithy Needle on the stack, so we're gonna fetch now. Luckily this doesn't tamper with our plans. So they will likely name Street Wraith or Edge of Autumn. Yep. So realistically, the only thing I'm worried about now is Thoughtseize. Or Him to Torag, I guess. Okay, so we're Thoughtseize proof now. We're not Him to Torag proof. I think there's a higher risk of them drawing one of their remaining wastelands than them having Him to Torag this turn. I guess Ashiok, the 3-mana Ashiok also ends the game here because we can't even Daze. Okay, so they had the Thoughtseize. That's fine. So very, very happy. Like we got the rub of the green here. So if we had drawn the Thassa, we would have lost here. All right. All right, round number 2, and oh no, it is Kai Sawatari that we're up against, likely playing the mirror. So I'm gonna keep here. This is surely an excusable hand to keep. Though Kai, I know, is also just got his hands on some Ragavans. Oh, that's it, right? Okay, so we're gonna cast Personal Tutor here. And pass. So this is not the Delver opponent that I want to be up against. Someone who is intimately familiar with Doomsday. So Kai has to be respecting the... Another Delver, okay. Kai has to be respecting the Dark Ritual play here. So, I mean... So let's say that we do like Dark Ritual Doomsday and Kai flips, and we have used both Dazes, so that we have... Yeah, it's not ideal, but I think I'm going to go for it here. We could wait another turn, but seeing as this is a pass the turn Doomsday pile that we're shaping up to make here. Okay, so likely Kai has a pitch counter, so we're going to have to use both Dazes, but we'll see. Right. So I think Kai might be streaming, which is why there are going to be some like delays on his end. Yeah, because when you're streaming, kind of like when you're recording, but probably more so when you're streaming, you end up taking a long time doing so. Okay, so we're gonna daze this. Kai's gonna pay, and we're gonna daze again, and then we're going to have to ask ourselves if we feel lucky. So Kai might have second pitch counter, in which case, you know, it looks like he has. All right, so here's the deal. We can we're gonna drop to 9, which means that if Kai flips his Delvers and has Force of and has Lightning Bolt, we lose. I think it's pretty clear that we cannot afford to go for to pass the turn twice, because that's just like if Kai flips Delvers, then we also just lose, and it just gives him too much time. So I think we just have to hope that his last 2 cards are kind of not very good, and then go for a Brainstorm pile that wins with cards left in the deck. So this loses to Daze, which I think is pretty, like, that would be one of the cards I would put him on having here, because that's a card he couldn't really use last turn. So how many? So yeah, okay. So we could put in a land here and use one of our fetches to thin. But I don't think it really does a lot, to be honest. It just costs us a life. So I guess what we could do is put Force. Actually, let's put Pact in the pile, so the Kai, if he looks, he'll see that Pact so there's a card in our hand. So we'll draw Brainstorm into Edge, LED, and Thassa, and then hope that that's good enough. I would give ourselves like a 30% chance at this working out. So maybe even less, because yeah, you have to think about what cards could be in Kai's hand. So it's not a Force of Will and a blue card. So it could be a Force of Will and not a blue card, or it could be, yeah, okay, so he flips off a Force. So we have to hope that the other 2 cards in his hand are not blue cards. And he could also have Bolt here. And he had Bolt. Okay, fair. Right. Okay, so this is Blue-Red Delver, and we lost game 1, so that's obviously not ideal. Oops, let's get Cavern of Souls, let's get the 2 extra Pacts, and the extra Duress. Oops, yeah, there we go. So let's lose the 2 Personal Tutors. Let's lose a Thoughtseize. And a Force of Will. Wonder if there's any merit to like a single Personal Tutor on the play. Probably not. All right, game number 2 on the play. Let's have a good hand. Yeah, it's not too bad. A little bit vulnerable to like Wasteland. And let's cycle the Street Wraith here. Daze is a decent pickup. I'm gonna Duress here. Hope to not see Wasteland. There's no Wasteland. Let's take Daze. That's not an incredibly scary hand, but also there's a Delver. You know what? I'm gonna Daze this. Because then Kai has no threats. So there's a Petal. I think I'm going to Brainstorm now, if we can find Dark Ritual. And also our Brainstorm is going to get, like, shut off by his Pyroblasts. Okay, so what I really want to avoid here is Kai drawing, like, another, like, a creature. Oh, Brainstorm. Brutal draw. So I think we're still supposed to go for it here next turn. But I do wonder if I was supposed to then keep the second Doomsday, to be honest. Okay, so if Kai plays a threat here, I feel incredibly scared that he has found a force. But I think I'm gonna go for it anyways, just because I don't like where this game is going. I think, yeah, Kai has. So if Kai, okay, so we get to play on here. Excellent. So I'm gonna go for, well, Thassa and the Cavern. Kai has a lightning bolt. We're gonna drop to 8, and if Kai flips Delver, then we're at effective 2. So what if we go for like Pact and how would that work? So we have 3 mana right now. So if Kai wastes us and also has like Daze, and that's kind of bad. But this way we get to draw Ideas Unbound, edge into Pact, and then hopefully win. So I think that's a decent plan. So let's actually draw the Pact. That way we can also like get to lightning bolts, like not lightning bolt, but if we need to like Pact of Negation, a lightning bolt on our upkeep or something. So Kai doesn't flip. Hopefully it's not Wasteland. I also don't know. I know that Kai favors Stifle, so I don't know if he has tinkered with the blue-red Delver list and is playing a Stifle list. In which case, that means we lose, I think, because he still has the Pyroblast. So if he just has Stifle and Pyroblast in hand, we like our single Pact isn't going to beat that. Okay. So, what is Kai thinking? So if there's a wasteland here, there's nothing to think about. If he has surgical, then yeah, I'm not sure. Our pile is definitely pretty vulnerable to surgical extraction, but we can't really do anything about that. Like if Kai surgicals us now, I don't think like cycle Edge of Autumn, because we lose the land then, and we yeah, it's just too unlikely. So there is the wasteland. Okay. So we're gonna edge the whatever lands he wastes, and yeah, we have to hope he doesn't have a Daze. Alright, Kai. So Kai puts Narset on the battlefield here. I'm not gonna edge, because I want to edge. I can only edge on his turn. So there's a Brainstorm, which probably means that he's gonna flip Delver next turn. Okay, flips off a Force of Will. Yeah, and that means we lose because we won't be able to get to all of our cards. Oh, and gets a Lightning Bolt too. That's that's, that's pretty much KO, right? Draw a very useless thing here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to play out Thassa here, and that loses several ways over because Kai has like Bolt and Pyroblast and Force of Will. So yeah, Kai will let Pact of Negation resolve. Okay, he doesn't. Right, we are out. All right, on the play for round number 3. Yeah, sweet hand. Gonna keep. And I am going to jam here. Okay. Right. So we have no clue what we're up against. And I suppose I'm just gonna, I might put in Cavern. No. Yeah. I think I'm gonna like bring a Cavern of Souls in and a Daze out on the draw here, and we'll see. We might not be up against the blue deck at all, so yep, gonna keep this. They mulligan to 6. I think what they did is very is very correct. Okay, so we're up against elves. So the the Cavern of Souls is going to do nothing but like but this is fine. Like I'm glad I didn't sideboard like more heavily. Okay, so Nettle Sentinel is Visionary, eh? Yeah, okay, so they get to make a lot of mana now. But they don't have any untapper. Like they don't have Quirion Dryad. Sorry, Quirion Ranger or the Symbiote. So I'm just gonna go for it here. I think if they have a way to natural order next turn, I probably don't have a good way to fight against that. So I'm gonna put a land in there. Why not? So we can fetch out. And then like I wouldn't mind Pact of Negation for a thing for an endurance. So I am actually going to go like put Petal in there so that we don't lose to having to Daze. So let's say here we draw Edge of Autumn, we edge into Pact. This way does lose to us having to Daze. So how about we just like we draw a Petal. We Brainstorm, drawing Petal, Pact, Thassa. We put back fetch. Yeah, that seems fine. It's a little bit of an atypical pile. So I guess it's pretty unlikely that we would end up dazing here. As it stands, they can make 7 mana. There's Glimpse. Yikes. Okay. Well, we just have to hope they don't get to do it all. Seven mana. Well, they got it, so let's just see them go for the behemoth here, and then we can concede. Yep. Alright, so sideboarding wise, let's lose the cavern here. So we don't really have a lot to bring in against elves, not gonna lie. Maybe a couple of Forces of Negation are better than the 2 Duress. And I'm not sure if we want like an extra Pact of Negation instead of a land. Just because, like, I think Endurance is probably like their best chance of killing us if we go fast, or if So yeah, it's a fine hand. They mulligan to 6. Alright, I'm just gonna go land go. We have Brainstorm to protect against discard. Once upon a time. OUAT, as I see it. Abbreviated. Alright, come on, opponent. Alright, so they finally decide to get Birch Lore Rangers. Allosaur Shepherd, sure. Okay, so I'm gonna cycle Street Wraith just to get a card deeper. And then I'm gonna ponder. There is Doomsday. And I'm gonna cast Doomsday here. The only way this bites us in the butt is if the opponent has Mindbreak Trap. It looks as though they have F6'd. So I am gonna make a pile here that wins with a Pact in hand, though if they decide to go for Endurance at the right time, they can still beat this. But it did seem like they had F6'd, so because we have a Cycler and a Brainstorm in hand, we get to like move the Cycler slot in the pile, exchange that with a Pact of Negation. And actually, in order to have made this a little bit more endurance sort of resistant, we should have put have cracked the petal before we let Doomsday resolve, but I didn't think about that. And it's the thing about them like F6ing. They only did that when we got to this point. Okay, so we got there. Sweet. Alright, on the draw for round number 4. I'm going to keep this hand. I think it's pretty good. If we find Doomsday off of Ponder, we can even like turn one Doomsday with Daze backup if we wanted to, but we probably will want to wait a bit. So they mulligan to 6. Delta go, okay. Okay, so they're going to entomb here, I guess? Yeah, makes sense. Sure. So now I just want to draw Doomsday, honestly. Let's go Ponder. Nope. There's Preordain. Okay. So just gonna pass here. Hope that Daze is good enough, and if not, then Brainstorm can find like Force of Will. Okay, so Daze was good enough, at least sort of initially. Come on, Doomsday. Nope. So let's Preordain here. Bottom both of those. We're gonna have to like expect that they will have like a follow-up. So the question is if Duressing here is worth it. I think it is. Like I think Duress mattering is more likely than like Brainstorm finding a Force of Will. Okay, so we have to take Reanimate and just cross our fingers that they don't like draw a land or a petal. Okay, they didn't, so dodge the bullet here. Okay, so let's Brainstorm. No. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. So we have to like fate another land from them. We don't. Okay, so now Brainstorm has to find like Daze or Force of Will plus blue card. Or Pact of Negation, actually. Okay, so we find nothing and we concede. Okay, so we want the Duress, we want the 4 Pact of Negation. And probably that's it. There is a slight argument to be made for Cavern of Souls, just in case they like were to run Pyroblasts. I don't think Cavern, in order to be able to pay or like to ignore a Chancellor, is very sort of likely to come up. Let's dump a land. I don't think we're going to bring in the Cavern. We can cut one of the Personal Tutors, cut a Petal, and a Cycler. Alright. Let's choose to be on the play. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see if they have a Chancellor effect. I mean, this hand is not great. And there's a tension between wanting to Preordain on turn 1 and then having both Force and Daze. They mulligan to 5. Alright. They keep their 5. They don't reveal a Chancellor. So I'm just gonna pass, I think. And I'm gonna Daze this Faithless Looting. When in doubt, you should always like fight their enablers. Okay. We drew a land, which was the last thing we wanted. I'm going to Preordain here, and hopefully, yeah. Let's grab both of those, so we can pitch the one in our hand, and then we draw another one to relieve ourselves of 2 of these fetch lands. Another Faithless Looting. I mean, they're just 1 land away from being able to flashback these, so I'm actually going to let this happen. Okay, so they've been a Thoughtseize and a Gristlebrand. And they're pausing on our draw step here, or our upkeep. Not sure why. Alright, let's Brainstorm. I'd like to draw a discard spell. Or I guess Dark Ritual Doomsday would also do it. We almost get Dark Ritual Doomsday. So I am gonna Personal Tutor for Doomsday now. And so the problem is if they have two animation spells. Silence. So I'm gonna let them silence us, and hopefully this means they have to use reanimate, which means they can only draw once, and hopefully that then means like they don't get to do too many things, but we have to concede that we probably will lose now. But I mean, if I force of will the silence, then I'm left with like using my pedal to brainstorm to hope to find Daze. Yep. So what do you take here? I guess you take the Dark Ritual or the Brainstorm. That's at least what I would, the cards that I don't want them to take. Okay, so they take the Brainstorm. It's fine. If they pass now, then we still get to win, but that somehow feels, not too likely. Dark Ritual, sure. Uh-oh. So Iona probably, or I guess Chancellor also does it. How sweet would it be if... No, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna concede. We lost the Reanimator matchup. Boo-hoo. Alright. On the draw for round number 5, we'll keep this hand. We're up against Misty Rainforest into Volcanic. Okay, so we're up against Ragavan. The old Ragster. Alright, so I think I'm going to Brainstorm on their turn. So that if they have Daze or whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter. Daze is actually not a reason to do it on their turn. Okay, so let's put back 2 lands. Like so. Okay. Dak Faden. Sure. I mean, I say sure. It's not like I could do anything about that, but okay. So I'm going to draw land here, and the question then is, how do we go about this? Assuming they have a pitch counter. I don't think waiting is going to, like, favor us. So I think we're just going to go for it now. I was just mulling over, there's a world where we go, like, Personal Tutor for Duress, cycle Street Wraith into Duress, cast Duress, then Petal, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, but then that passes the turn, and they're going to dig 3 cards deeper next turn with their draw step and Dak. So I'm going to try this, and we will like hope that they don't force. If they do, okay, so they don't. So we'll put Pact on top. We'll put Thassa, Petal, and Edge of Autumn. And so we will cast Ideas Unbound, drawing Pact, but if they counter the Pact, if they counter Ideas, we'll cycle Street Wraith into Pact. Maybe we should have made Pact a Daze, just because that way they don't see the Pact, but yeah, I don't know. Let's go like this. So I think they have Endurance. That's my gut assessment here. Okay, they concede. Cool beans. So I'm not really sure what to expect here. Ragavan is definitely an unpleasant card and makes me want to board as though I'm playing against Delver. But Dak makes me think maybe I need like a Pyroblast. I'm not sure. Pyroblast or two. They're like rug, whatever. Good stuff. I think I'm gonna try and go like this. Like I'm up against Delver, and we'll see how we do. All right, gonna keep this for sure. They mulligan to 6. Okay, no Ragavan turn 1. Happy about that. Okay, I like that. If we can like find a dark ritual here, we get to have a fun turn 2. Ooh, humana humana. All right, so a dashed Ragavan here. I think we are gonna want to answer that. Maybe though, maybe not. Sylvan Library. Yeah, Sylvan Library is fine because I think we're gonna win on our turn here. Maybe we should have taken the Daze, the second Daze, instead of the Force, because yeah, the way this lines up, that would have been an extra counter spell. So that was a little bit of a misstep. Okay, let's Daze that. But I mean, all we have, like, I don't think they can have anything here. So let's just actually go with some more cyclers. No need to put Ideas Unbound in there because it makes it more sort of vulnerable to surgical. So we drop to 10, and we cycle 4 times with Street Wraith. That drops us to 2. So that should be fine. It would be funny if they surgical this Street Wraith while it's in the graveyard. That would actually be pretty good. Just save us 6 life. So we lose to what? Double Daze. All right, cool. So we got there. 3-2 finish. We lost our match against the Blue Red Delver deck, which is a tough matchup. And then we lost to like Black Red Reanimator. I think the margins were pretty fine there, but yeah, so it is what it is. You can lose those matches, and yeah, I think the deck played fine. We didn't like mulligan into oblivion at any point, which was good. And yeah, so I'm certainly keeping an eye on Legacy for now. I'm a little bit feeling a little bit iffy about like you know, in a way I would kind of like to try and play like with Ragavan, not in Doomsday though, but I'm just really not feeling dropping all the money that Ragavan costs, because I feel like Ragavan is on like the watch list right now, probably, even though no one is saying so, in terms of maybe being in line for a ban. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So thanks a lot for watching, and if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe, and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.